The calls for Game with No Name are going mad right now. The clue in the little snippet we played you, I think is rubbish. Blame my producer Leanne. Now, over the weekend, many of you will have done your bit for charity by making a donation to Comic Relief. They did really, really well by raising over £70 million. But some people do like to go that extra mile for charity. In fact, going the extra mile is something Sam Knight from Preston will be doing in a few weeks' time. Sam is going to cover over 1,000 miles on bike and foot to raise enough cash to send his nephew, Wesley, to America for treatment. We'll talk to Sam in a moment, but first let's find out more about the child Sam is hoping to help. Tim Knight is Sam's brother and also father to Wesley, and joins us this morning. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Graham.
Tell us about Wesley then.
So Wes was born about 9 weeks early. He was very, very premature. So spent about 4 weeks in special care in Leeds Hospital, and just at the very point at which he was ready to come home, they did what was a routine ultrasound test. So they essentially kind of scan his brain. And what they unfortunately found was that a small part of Wesley's brain had died off as a result of his prematurity, which means he's got problems with motor control. So he's a fantastic young lad. He's lively, he's active, he loves playing with his big sisters, but unfortunately he can't sit up, he can't crawl, and he's unlikely to be able to walk. So what we've clearly done is looked at all the different things that we can do to help Wesley out. We've come across this procedure called selective dorsal rhizotomy, or SDR2, you and I, which is carried out in the United States. And this has been carried out with over 2,000 children in the US over the last 20 years, and essentially transformed the lives of those children who have this procedure from essentially being bound to wheelchairs to being normal, active, lively young children who can walk around and go to school normally. So it's for that reason we've set up this appeal. It's called Wesley's Wish. You can read more about it at www.wesleyswish.org, and we're hoping to raise funds to give Wes that chance.
Why don't they do the operation here?
It is starting to become available in the UK, but until very recently it's not. So there are a couple of centres which are starting to set up to offer it privately in the UK. One is in Bristol, one is in Leeds, but that's literally only been within the last couple of years. So there's a kind of difference in type of procedures, a little bit like, I guess, heart surgery. You could go for your heart surgery in some remote place in China, or you could go to some state-of-the-art facility in California. And I guess if it was your child, you were making a decision as to where you wanted them to receive that care, you kind of want the best for them.
I imagine it's a very costly procedure, is it?
It doesn't come cheap, unfortunately, Graham. Yeah. So the procedure itself is £45,000 in the US. But on top of that, what you need to get the maximum benefit from it, so Wes really gets everything out of it, is 2 to 3 years of really intensive physiotherapy. And I mean, day in, day out, 4 or 5 hours a day, which can go on for even longer than that 3-year period. And again, that's unfortunately not available through the NHS. So that's something you have to fund privately.
Okay, Tim, stay there, because let's speak to his Uncle Sam, who's going to be doing all the hard work. Good morning.
Morning, Graham.
How are you?
Very good, thanks.
What will you be doing?
Well, Tim has asked me to do a little bit of a challenge for him.
Right.
I'm going to be biking from Land's End to John O'Groats, but just to make it a little bit tougher, I'm going to do the National Three Peaks at the same time. So, biking up from Land's End to Snowdon.
Right.
Run up Snowdon, run back down, back on my bike, cross the ferry at Liverpool,
yeah,
up through Lancashire, into Cumbria, and then up Scarfell Pike, back down to the bike, back up into Scotland, up to Fort William, run at Ben Nevis, then all the way to the finish, up at John O'Groats even.
So how long's that going to take you? Do you think?
I'm starting on the 18th of May,
right?
And I've booked off 2 weeks of work. And
so you've got to finish then?
Yeah, I've got to finish. So hopefully 10 to 14 days. But I'm on the slowest bike known to man.
Why?
It's not one of these fancy race bikes.
Right.
So on my trip I'm going to be taking my tent, everything I need, no support team, all on my own, get dropped off at Land's End, and then probably just camping in bushes, probably.
You're literally doing it all on your own?
Yeah, absolutely. So...
You're not worried?
No, not at all. I think it'll be fine. I think the kindness of the general public will help out. But I'm going to... I looked online, and you've got all these organised events, and you've got to spend about £600 to enter it.
Yeah.
So I want all the money raised to be going to Wes, as opposed to going to some company who's running the event.
Right.
So drop me off, I'll do the rest in between.
Tim, has your brother always been mad?
He has. He's always been this wonderful, crazy lunatic that you see before you, Graham.
Well, I'm not saying you look like a lunatic.
I do a bit.
But well, okay, you do a little bit.
Yeah,
You do have a bit of a crazed look.
Thank you.
Are you not worried that you're going to probably scare people along the way?
You know,
That who's this madman camping out in the woods?
as long as they donate, that's fine.
And more importantly, how can people donate?
www.
Yeah.
There's an extra W there, Tim. .wesleyswish.org, and there should be a horrific picture of me next to a bike, and you can click on that, and there's a Just Giving link there. And I think everyone nowadays knows what Just Giving's all about. You can just enter your bank details, and Wesley will benefit from whatever you give, be it 10p, 100 quid, £1,000.
And how much training have you done? Are you a fairly fit fella? Do you go to the gym or run or
I hate
bike
gyms.
or
Absolutely hate gyms.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do a bit. But I've done no training yet, Graham,
Oh
unfortunately.
my god!
But it is on the 18th of May, so
Right.
you know, I got the
There's
training
time.
here this morning. So
Who came up with this idea? Was it you or was it Tim?
it was. I stupidly suggested to Tim that I'd do something to help Wes, and like a lot of people, like you were saying before, don't have very much money at the moment.
Yeah.
So I can donate my time and, in the cleanest way, my body to this cause. So yeah, I came up with it, but I just wanted something. I came up with loads of crazy ideas, but you know, the general public probably wouldn't recognise that. The Land's End John O'Groats, I think Comic Relief did it a few years ago, and Three Peaks, people know about that, so combine the two. And you know, if people donate, I'll do something else as well. Anything that raises a bit more money. So if people want to add on to it, that's fine.
And Tim, well, what difference would this money make?
It'll make all the difference in the world, Graham. Every single pound we get through wesleyswish.org moves Wes one step closer to being able to walk on his own. And I think most importantly, something I would love to underline is we're working with a registered charity to do this. So we're working with an organisation called Tree of Hope. They're a registered charity in the UK. They've already helped 100 children, over 100 children, go through this same journey. So if there's anything left over at the end of this, when Wes is up and walking and playing football, if there's anything left over, that gets passed on to families in a similar position.
Fantastic stuff, Tim. All the very best, and Sam, all the very best as well.
Cheers, Graham.
I hope to see you soon. Thanks a lot. It's just remind us the website again one more time is
www.wesleyswish.org.
And what we'll do, we'll put all those details on our help desk as well. Thank you very much for joining
Cheers,
us.
Graham. Pleasure.
And good luck.
Thank you very much.
It's 8:45.